Hello everyone, I'm Avni. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be super exciting. Do watch till the end to see all the things that went wrong today and how I recovered from them. Let me quickly tell you what we'll need for today. I'm using an 8-inch round MDF board, Fevicryl Mouldit clay. You can use any other MDF or clay as well. Then we'll need Fevicol, a tool with a sharp edge. I'm using this tool, but you can use knife, cutter or anything really. And water. Before starting, remove all your jewelry if you don't want it to get in the way. Okay, let's go. So this is my second clay mural this month, and you know it, I'm going for floral again. But this time I'm going for a different look, as you might have already seen in my thumbnail. So I'm starting with shaping my flower. It's fairly simple. I'm taking a little bit of clay, a little more than pea-sized actually, then rolling it into a longish drop-like shape, placing it on the circle that I sketched for the flower, and then flattening it a little bit. And then using a little bit of water, smoothing out any fingerprints or marks on it. And then repeat till the entire circle is done. I will try my best to keep these drop shapes about the same size, but if they're a little off, that works too. I mean, even nature couldn't make flowers completely symmetrical, so who am I, right? So, this flower is going to be in 2 layers. After I'm done with the first layer, I will start with the second one in a similar fashion. However, I'm thinking about adding a ring in the middle to give the petals in the top layer a little raise towards the center to give it a dome-like appearance, right? Let's see if it works out. The petals in the second layer are also going to be shaped like the previous one, but this time I'm not going to flatten them too much, and whatever flattening I am doing, I will try to do it in my hand before placing it on the lower layer so as to not disturb the structure too much. I'm also going to try to place the petals in between 2 petals from the lower layer as much as possible. Once the second layer is done as well, I will create the center of the flower, taking almost a little less than a cherry-sized piece of clay, rounding it into a ball, pressing it with a ball-ended tool like so, and then placing it in the center and using the same shaping and smoothing process that we used on the petals. And with this, the flower is done. Now we have to add texture to the petals in the center of the flower. For the petals, I'm using this knife-like tool. I will use the sharp edge of this tool to create vertical lines like scratches from the center of the petal towards the outer edge. And now for the center, I'm using this tool with a pointy end. You could use a pencil instead, or a needle, or any other pointy thing that you can find. With that done, I will start giving this a little bit of character by adding stems and leaves. You could just leave it at the flower instead, but in that case, try to make the flower in the center of the board, or if you want it off center, you could add more flowers or do whatever else you like with it. The composition is completely up to you. Once everything is done, we will leave it to dry, and after it's completely dry, I'm going to use a sandpaper to smoothen out any rough edges that I can see. It's time to paint. I will give it a base coat with white paint first. You could use gesso instead. For adding color to it, I will start with the background. I want to keep the background light and give it an unfinished kind of look for that rustic charm. So I'm using this and white paint and a flat brush to make vertical strokes for the look that I want. I was trying to mix burnt sienna, but along the way I got to this color that I like so much better than the burnt sienna. Then to contrast with this light background, I wanted the flower to be really dark. So I used black paint to paint the flower, the stem and the leaves. Up until this point, things were fine. I did have some ugly grey smears, but it was okay. After this though, things started to get completely out of hand. So initially I had planned to use bronze color to give this flower some highlights. But when I looked at my metallic colors set, I realized I did not have bronze. Then I thought, no worries, I'll use gold and a little rust brown kind of color to get to the shade that I want. But my gold was stone. I mean, it was so dry it could as well be stone. Then I thought I'll use silver and mix something up. I did not have silver either. It was turning into a train wreck of epic proportions. I shoot these videos in natural light and it was almost sunset. I could feel an artistic tantrum brewing inside of me. And then I had a light bulb moment. I quickly mixed up the color that I had used on the base, only a few shades darker this time, then added pearl white, which I thankfully had, and ended up with this beautiful color, which, if I'm being honest, is so much better than bronze. I used this to add highlights to the flower, and this is the final look, guys. I love how it turned out. That is it for today. Comment down below and share your train wreck art moments. And do let me know what you think about this piece. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Happy creating.